Hello everyone, my name is Saksham Dikshit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. So today I'll make another video on the same series of knowledge share, and in this video itself this is a quite interesting topic which I just want to get it cover. So topic is a network engineer routine in data center. So even I worked like a network engineer in my initial phase of my working career. So at the time itself I worked like a network security guy, and I know what's the pain network guys are having it like when they're working in a data centers. So we'll just try to cover the routine, like what's the routine they're having. I'm not talking about like a tea and the coffee, how much tea and coffee and what time they're going for the lunch and those things. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the professional base, what exactly the routine and what are the tasks they are doing it in data center itself. So if anyone is interested to go for network engineer job, working as a network security analyst or something like that, they know like what are the things the task will be taken care by the normally with the network engineer itself, and how they have to solve those things, and everything is coming under that category itself. So like when you start working in network section itself, you have started from layer 1 itself, then a level 2 engineer, level 3 engineer. So that was a category itself, and level 3 engineers will be working on a firewalls, routers, switches directly. They're handling it. On a small level itself, you're just taking care of only the monitoring section, seeing the alerts and everything about it. I'll give a full description about it, what actually the routine they're having it. I have the whole list of it, and I know like I have worked on all the stuff about it. When I'm working for a data center itself, we have to coordinate with the multiple teams. That's also one other thing. We have to work on configuration section for it. Any outage happening, so that's also another thing we have to take care of it. So these things is coming under the category of the routine work itself. And other than on the top of it, new infrastructure to be get introduced, we have to get it onboarded, new infrastructure, get it mounted, that make a connectivity appropriately in place. It's a troubleshoot a lot. To these are the things which we normally a network engineer will do it, like that's a routine work. So going further with that, if we just really want to know about it, how exactly the things will go on in the case of network engineering as a routine. So first thing is coming under the category of the routing and the maintenance. That's most important. So monitoring, I can say that there might be a SIM tool, or earlier there is an alert tool type of thing. I can say that. So what exactly is happening? All the appliances are getting connected with that SIM tool itself, and you're getting the alert either from, like if you're having your own dedicated dashboard, then it's a different case. But if you are using an SIM tool, you're getting the alerts from there itself. You have to get it, monitor that, and maintenance work as per. If you're seeing anything over consumed or anything is a problem showcasing by the SIM, then definitely you have to work on it as a maintenance work. That is one of the routine work. Like it's something like that you have to do it once, either quarterly or weekly, as per that frequency itself. You have to do that. Like it depends on it how many appliances you have it in your organization, and definitely every week, or it may be possible if you have so many appliances, definitely after every 2 days itself you have to work on different appliances itself, just perform the maintenance work, see the capability and everything about it. If everything is not appropriately working, you definitely have to work on it. If the firmware is not supported appropriately, then you have to go for the installation for it, or you have to take a support from that vendor itself. That it's a part of the maintenance itself, and that you can maintain it, or you have to take a help of the vendor. Couple of cases the vendor are coming over there, so they're not aware about it, so you have to work with them, support them. These are the things coming into the category of the monitoring and the maintenance. Going for the incident response. So taking example, any incident happened, taking example, any attack happened on an application itself. So network guys are the first guys, they have to take care of it. They have to get it, analyze it, where exactly the attack happened. They have to see that attack with its signatures, whatever it's get triggered on an SIM tool or on IPS or on a firewall itself. It depends on it, whatever firewall you're using it, IPS if you're using it, if you're using WAF, you're using n number of tools if you're using it. Everything will be get monitored by a network engineer itself. So they will, a security engineers or with the network engineer, couple of organizations having a network engineer separately from the network security engineer. But I'll just give it as an example of mine. I work like a network security guy, so I'll be taking care of the network also and security both. So I'll give it a perspective of both the guys, not only the network who take care of only the routers and the switches. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about both the things. So incident response, anything happening, what exactly the response, they have the predefined protocols, whom to get it, contact that accordingly, what action we have to take it, we have to get it signed, the action, the ACLs, what are the modification we required it just to overcome that problem. Taking example, any attack happen to not happen later phase itself, we wanted that action will be taken against it, whatever the ACLs, whatever the blockage, we have to do it for the specified IP address itself, a zone we wanted to be get it blocked. So everything will be coming in the category of the incident response. We talk about it. Going further with that, this is quite interesting topic. I'm talking like I worked in this section. That was the reason behind I can give it a more clarity on it, more incidents about it. Like you have more I have more visibility on it as I worked in this section for it. So going further with that, we're talking about the configuration and the optimization. So that's also most important. Like as a network engineer, configuration is one of the things. Like if anyone is required any port to be get it open. So in that case, a configuration modification is required. Any new ACLs will be get it created. It totally depend on it. So the configuration is also one of the part of the network guy. They have to take care of the configuration, and optimization as well. Like taking example, if anything will be open it for the test purpose and later phase itself developer forget to ask to remove that, then in that case definitely we have a maintenance activity, or I can say the optimization activity, where we have to see the unwanted rules, ACLs on a firewall or an IPS itself, and if there is no traffic generated on those ACLs, we definitely have to contact the appropriate guys from spokesperson itself and asking them whether these type of rules which you have requested us to create it, whether you wanted that to be get it continue or not. If they wanted no, that's just for the test purpose, I'm not using that ACLs anymore, then in that case definitely we just have to get it, capture that, and we have to remove those things. So that's coming under the category of optimization. If we are just opening the rules continuously without monitoring it, without optimizing it, definitely our firewall having a lot of load. I can give an example of one of the organization I've worked for it. They have almost more than 1 lakh ACLs on a firewall. I'm talking about the time they have it at 2015. They have 1 lakh rule, and that was a financial institution. I worked for it. So they have 1 lakh rule. Can you imagine it? When they push it, like we worked on checkpoint firewall, and in that we have to, from the dashboard itself, we have to push that, like whatever the changes you did it, it's not get it reflected immediately. You have to push it. To get it pushed, we have to click on it, and then after that we have to wait for 30 minutes to push everything. Like they will reload the whole list of ACLs once again to push that same changes itself. There is nothing like that. Whatever changes is over there itself, it will get reflected. No, the whole ACLs list of 1 lakh ACLs will be getting reflected. It will take 30 minutes to get it reflect on a actual firewall itself from the dashboard. That's one of the thing. So security management is one of the thing. We have to be get it manage the security, the VPNs, accessibility for the user. If like like earlier there is like a proxies will be get it defined. The user are getting access from the proxies itself. The restrictions will be there itself. Few users having a full privilege access of the internet, few having a restricted access. So that's also to be get it managed over there itself. So security management is one of the thing where we have to get it define the appropriate guys to be in particular groups and get it manage that. Like I will give an example. When I work for one of the organization over there itself, they have the option like only I think 700 MB or 600 MB they are providing for a single user per month. So if a person is trying to get access to the internet, only 600 MB is the limit per user they are giving it. If you exhaust the whole limit, we are tracking that also. Like 600 MB, once it's get exhausted for the user, then after that your internet will be down, and you have to request your guys, your IT guys request like my access is revoked now as I have consumed 600. Then they will request to increase 100 MB or 150 MB as per the need itself. We will have to increase it. That's also coming under the category of the security management. Going further with that, if I talk about the documentation and the reporting, that's most important. Whenever you are conducting any activity, that to be get it documented for future itself. Like if you are modifying any ACLs right now, that should be get it documented. That's we call it either in a LLD or HLD itself, low level diagram or high level diagram. So that's a documentation over there itself. We have to make it an appropriate documentation with the reports appropriately. If an incident happened, we have to be getting reported, make a proper documentation on it, so that in future aspects, if you are not there and whosoever the person is managing the data center, managing these devices, that person can able to understand, okay, this incident happening and these are the steps that person is taking it. So instead of just figuring out the way to solve that problem, that person already having a documentation, that person can review it and get on the basis of that can solve the problem. Like couple of cases, in case of network, if something a zero day type of thing, it's different case, but couple of time the same incidents happening continuously, if we have a predefined steps for it, it's a bit easy for the network engineer to solve the problem faster, as compared we have to figure out the ways to solve the problem or take a vendor on a call just to solve the problem for us. Okay, so in my case what I did, like once if an incident happening, either I have to go with the documentation, just see that what actually action. If I'm not able to find any documentation or a similar type of incident earlier itself in my repository, then in that case definitely I try to contact the vendors, and at that time whatever the solution they are providing, I'll try to get it noted down, and next time if the same incident happen, instead of going to the vendor, I'll try to get it solved by my way itself. That's the thing. So that's also two ways you can learn it, the stuffs, either with the repository or with the vendor also you can learn it. So for that you require the documentation in place and reporting should be in place, so that if anyone point a finger on you, you're aware about it, and these are the things and what are the actions you're taking it for this, and what's the root cause of it. That was the reason reporting documents should be created from a network engineer, so that any incidents happening, they know the root cause appropriately and they have to get it present to the client, and client will know, okay, this is the root cause for it, through which this issue will be arise. And it may be possibility if any device is an outdated device, and if any incident happen, if it's coming under the category root cause you have mentioned, this device is an outdated device, we have to replace this with the latest one, then definitely we have to mention it, and on the basis that client will take action. If the client will not take action, then definitely if anything happen later on itself, you have documented, you have presented that to the client, and the client will have to take a call in that case, as they have not supported us to replace the device. That was the reason behind it. This incident happened once again. I'm giving so many information from my side. I have faced such type of things. That was the reason behind it. Collaboration. So collaboration is also one of the thing, like network security guys are not working individually. They are working with so many guys. They're working with a monitoring guy. Like I can give it my example. I've worked with a database guys, server team, Windows team. I worked with a number of database team itself, Windows, Linux, AIX. I've worked in so many sections itself. They worked in those teams, so I'm just interacting with them. So couple of times they wanted accessibility ASILs to be created for it, iRules to be created on the FI load balancer. So that type of things we'll try to, or reverse proxy will try to make it. So that type of scenarios we are trying to make it. So our collaboration is required between a network security guys and even between the IT guys or database team or a Linux team or Windows team itself. So that's also coming under, that's also one of the responsibility network guys will have to take care of it. Like we have to work in a collaboration, and whenever there is a troubleshooting happening from the server team itself, they need our help to get it, monitor the logs from the firewalls or from the SIM itself, so that how exactly the capability and what type of traffic is generated over there. So they can't track that traffic. To track the traffic, we just have to go by that way. Okay, going further with that, we're talking about the capacity planning. So that's also most important thing. As data centers grows and evolve, network engineer perform a capacity planning to anticipate a future network needs. So that's most important. Take example, right now you're utilizing one of the router as per the need. Like I'll give it an example of mine. Like when I worked for that organization having only 16 Mbps link, they are having it, and that is an internet link of 16 Mbps, and through the data center they have 5 remote locations. They are connected with the MPLS and get it connected to the data center. And so from all 5 locations, when a person is trying to get it access the internet, they are coming to that same main data centers, and through the 16 Mbps only they can get it access to the internet. So just imagine it, like how much load is it? Like we are having only 2 lines of internet over there itself, and everyone is coming from the MPLS connected to us, and then they are connected to the internet. So that's the thing. So at that time it's okay, they have a limited staff over there itself, but later phase itself, if we are just try to identify a capacity of it, then capacity planning we are trying to make it over there. So we'll definitely have to plan, like right now 16 MPS we're utilizing it for 500 guys. Later phase, if we have a 5,000 guys, and how much bandwidth we require it. So accordingly we'll try to make the infrastructure accordingly. So that's coming under the category of the capacity planning, where we have to predict as per the current situation and how much in future itself new capability we have to be getting introduced to the data center, so that we can meet the requirement at that time. Like instead of like I can't wait for a time like when 5,000 users are using it, and at the time only I think okay 16 Mbps is not sufficient. Now I have to go for 100 Mbps or more than that, or 1 gig itself. I can't wait for that time. I have to think about it from the point like if I'll see the capability, or if the bandwidth is utilized above 80% or 70% itself, definitely I have to raise the flag to the client and ask him like, we are already reaching continuously 80%. I think we have to go for the upgrade of our bandwidth, so that we can we can provide the internet to everyone appropriately, instead of everyone facing an issue of slow internet. We do not have to go in such a way. Okay, that's coming under the category of the capacity planning. Going further with it, continual learning. That's most important. Like if you are working like a network engineer, your task is to learn the new techniques every day. Like I'm not saying only for the network, it's for all the fields. If you're learning everything every day, new things every day, then in that case definitely you can meet the requirement of like in a future world itself. Like when any new technology gets introduced in the market, if you're up to date about it, you know about the technology, definitely you can utilize it, try to get it integrate. That's the need of the continuous learning. So if you are network engineer or any other field you're working, make sure you will have to learn the new techniques, new things, whatever get introduced in the market, you should know those things, so that you can get it utilized in a later phase itself when you are working in that section. For take example, Gen AI is one of the thing. Like in future aspects, lot of guys are using a Gen AI just to optimize their work. So we should know those things. We should have to learn those things to get it optimize those things. Even have make it a video on Gen AI itself, how it's get upgraded, our things about it in future itself, and what are the benefits, what are the pros and the cons for it. Everything I try to get it covered in that video. If you have not seen it yet, please go with that, see that what actually the things is happening in the future itself, and that will not take our jobs. But the thing is that if we are not upgrading our skills, definitely we will lose the job. That's most important. Going to the last section, that is responding to a network outage and the incident. So incident is one of the thing when any attack happen, that's coming in the category of the incidents. If any outage happens, take example, at any one time the whole link of internet goes down, you are seeing so many alerts from at that time. So that's also a responsibility of the network engineer to follow with the ISPs at that time. Like internet is not working, they will have to troubleshoot it, make that working. Couple of time like outages over there itself, your device will failed. So that's also one of the thing we have to take major action appropriately for it to solve that problem, divert the traffic to the secondary section for instead of the primary one, or switchover will happening on the basis of our requirements. Like if it's a primary secondary, definitely it will switch over the traffic to the secondary one. If it's working as a active, then in that case definitely we don't have any solution for it. If both the devices goes down, we don't have a solution for it. Definitely we have to go for the new device to get it mount. So that's all the things are coming under the category of the responding to the network outages and incidents. Okay, so I can say like these are the routines. It depends on the organization, how big the organization itself. It totally depends on that. Like if you're working for a small organization having hardly a 50 guys or 10 guys or 100 guys itself, and in that case definitely you're not having much load. You're having a single firewall over there itself, wireless over there itself. These are the things you have to get it, monitor it, you have to maintain it. That was one of the things. But if you're working for a huge organization, I have worked for one of the organization where they have their own repository. Like repository, I can say that it's a type of Google type of portal. They have it where they have the entries of all the devices. Like if anything goes down, we are getting the alert. We simply have to go to that portal first just to see where exactly the device is present. Like we have so many data centers and so many places. Like it's a huge data centers. We are maintaining almost more than 600 to 700 firewalls. So it's not easy for anyone to just maintain or remember all the firewalls. We just have to check like on which location which section for which client we are using this firewall. So everything we have to get it managed. So that's also one of the things. So it depends on it, the scenarios of it, and how big the environment, enterprise environment you're working for it. So implementing a new network technology is also one of the things which I talk about it. Like these are also a part of the routine itself, and architecture designing also one of the part of it, which is not in the list on the top of on all the 9 points which you discussed earlier. That's not, it's separate, but it's also be a part of it. Automating the network tasks with scripting language like a Python itself. Like I have did that for it, for one of the organizations, just to check the status of our routers. Like at the time itself, like and every day morning itself, we have assignment tools in place. But the thing is that still the client want, like we require to know the status of all the switches and the routers. We have to take a control manually, get it logging. So that I have automated from the script using a Python, make the whole script, run it once, and get the output screenshots appropriately in one of the file, and that to be get it sent to the client everyday basis. So that to be get it done as per the need. Disaster recovery planning for the network infrastructure. So DR is also one of the thing. Like I'll be a part of the DR activity at the time. Like that organization is not having a DR, but at the time when we are working over there, as per the capability, we have seen that a lot of traffic is coming over there. So in later phase itself, if we are relying only on the DC, like that's not at all be a possibility for it. So the organization think about, like we have to go for the DR also. That was a thing. They have started working on the DR also, implement whole things, and we have done with the switch over to the DR and roll back to the DC itself once again back, which got the main data center. So that's also a part of it. Overall routine of the network engineer in a data center is a dynamic and demanding, on requiring a mixed technical expertise, problem solving skills, and the proactive management to keep the network running smoothly and securely. That's most important all the time. So as per my thing, I can say no one call you, no one think about you till nothing goes wrong. Taking example, the network is now down. No one bother about whether network engineers are there or not. But if the network is down, everyone is running behind you. That's a thing. You're getting so many calls and everything over there itself, and you are the most important person at that time. So that is a network engineer all the time. So I hope you are able to understand the routine of the network engineer. This is close to my heart itself, as I worked as a network engineer. So I know like these are the things which we have to do it. So if you like this video, please subscribe my channel, and definitely I'll try to make such type of video in future itself. Whatever the skills I have learned it, and whatever the things I did it so far as experience point of view, that should be get it shared with you, so that new guys will get it experience. Like nowadays the people are working in one of the organization for a longer time, they know the same routine, but I worked for multiple organizations so far. That was the reason I'm aware about so many things. Okay, so thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.